3 down, 2 to go, and the next one up is West Garfield Park taking on Nocturns. Both of these teams, I wouldn't say too similar trajectories, but West Garfield Park, we've got a team, they're on a bit of a streak. They had a rough start, Forceful, and they're pulling it together, and I think putting together a stage that we might not have thought they would have had.
No, if you watched the beginning of this stage, you would have thought, maybe this would be a bottom of the leaderboard kind of team. But they did the role swap around Playday 4, I think it was 4 or 5, where they put Bio back on hard support, and they have looked stellar since then. One of the things I'm most impressed about them has got to be like their tempo setting, their aggression. They're just getting in the faces of all their opponents, but then they're also capitalizing on those advantages. Just an absolute great team. And like last week, we saw them playing with Rudy, right? He was a substitute player. He was coming in, filling in for the team, and they still looked great. And that's not even talking about the best rated player in the entire league right now, which is Snake, who is coming back into the roster for today's play day. And we're going to be able to see, the West Garfield Park that, they've envisioned, they've been practicing with. I'm very excited to see this team today.
It's going to be huge for them. And Cookies, Nocturnes, bit rougher of a season, but the one ray of sunshine was a big win over ATK, the only team to be able to take down ATK so far.
I'm not going to put an asterisk on it. But
Sounds like you are. It sounds like you are.
I'm going to. Somebody was disconnecting quite a bit. Splash was playing on a potato internet. Nocturnes, that was a game where you see Nyx's negative entry stats there. Slothy, I'm going to totally pivot off of Nyx's performance there, but I'm going to talk about Slothy, how he actually went 5 for 1 on entry against a team that was kind of 45ing the whole time. So I don't know if that's what it takes for Nocturnes to have some confidence on their entry, but that's been a struggle point for this team. And also, I have nothing against French Canada, okay? But Exod is dying for someone who's supposed to be a flank watch and like a support on defense, dying early way too often, number one. And number two, the defuse situation, I think it was last week, that was unforgivable. Exod has got to stop being a traffic cone. Lackey's got to step it up too. His entry numbers aren't too good as a guy who's maining an LMG. And again, it's just kind of, they had injuries. They had people missing at certain points in the stage. It's just like, can they put it together for this game and not have any Lemicki? We'll see.
One thing I would just want to let the audience know is one of the reasons why we don't have Connor on this one is in regards to Slothy on Nocturnes, every time he talks poorly of him, he pops off. And then he'll go and sing his praises, and then he'll be nowhere to be found. So we felt we'd keep it neutral. Now, West Garfield Park, Tanner, this team, like we said, they've been on a roll. What do they have to do to keep that roll rolling?
Well, I feel like they got to keep doing what they're doing right now. The biggest thing that I'm seeing from them on the attack half is they've been looking really, really solid. They're coming in with good, solid adaptations, but now they're playing a team like Nocturnes who's got a really extensive strat book. Their coach has been putting in the work. What I want to see from them on attack is for them to slow down the pace, control it, so they get the information to bio so you can make those adaptations. And then on the defensive half, it's real simple. Hit your utility. Throw your smokes, throw your C4s, get them to where you need to be. Stop missing them, and I think their defensive half would be far more successful. And they might actually pull us away from Nocturnes.
Also worth noting, West Garfield has not lost an attack half since their role change. Just dominant.
Wow.
Absolutely dominant.
And if you're Nocturnes, man, like I said earlier, bro, your most marquee win, right? Early on Theme Park, early on in the stage, they took out a one-shot team on Theme Park. They're bringing out the clash. These are like some mega mind defensive strats that threw a team like one shot for a loop, right? And then you've got later on in the stage again, Skyscraper. These guys are playing a lot of different maps and kind of pulling a lot of variety in their strategy. You're not seeing the critical point right now, but that's what my critical point was. These guys, they have played like 7 maps. They've played 7. Correct me if I'm wrong. 7 out of 9. That's pretty biblical. However, they've had mixed results, which I'm sure you can elaborate on that one. They've been all over the place.
They have. But the last few play days, they've been looking really sharp. I have to give them credit where credit's due.
Right. But what is this? How does a team like Nocturnes? Okay, they've obviously got the names on this team, and they beat good teams, but then they drop them to other ones. I just have one question though. We go into this map, Bam Forceful. What are the chances we see Skyscraper after you take down the top team or one of the top teams?
I mean,
slim to none.
I think slim to none. If I'm West Garfield Park, that's going to be one of my bans. And you might even see Nocturns go out and ban it because they showed VOD footage on it. You know, maybe they're not ready to be counter-shredded on that map just yet. But as you go through the bans here, you're seeing, you know, pretty standard bans coming out from both teams. Both teams have a pretty extensive map pool. I'm really excited to see the Villa ban. You know, we saw tons of Villa last week. Border, Cafe, Bank, like these are all pretty standard
they're
bans.
teasing it. They're teasing it.
Are they? It's either Skyscraper or Clubhouse. Please. Yeah, there it is. Like it would have been foolish. It would have been foolish for West Garfield to like, you know, see Nocturnes win that map and then maybe not go in there prepared and try to take him. It's pretty standard ban process coming out from West Garfield. We are going to Clubhouse. This is a map that, you know, having your fundamentals down, you know, being good on your defensive utility. That's the name of the game here on this Equalizer. And I'm really excited to kind of see these two teams duke it out on this map.
Cookies, do you think they dangled that little skyscraper in front of us thinking like, wow, are they actually going to take them there? And then they just snatched it away.
If it's the same problem we have as the analyst team, the top-down VOD, which would have been available regarding that skyscraper from last week, it's not all that helpful. You honestly can't see as much as you would like, and sometimes there's patches and stuff, and you can't use the replay either. So it's like, okay, well, you know, we don't actually know what this skyscraper is, even though there's a VOD, there technically isn't. So I understand that West Garfield doesn't take that risk. And honestly, I respect them going to Clubhouse because, quite frankly, someone like Twist, let's listen, Twist is, that guy's all gun, let me tell you. And he was out partying last night. Twist isn't, he's not Einstein, but let me tell you, he can make it work on Clubhouse. I can tell you, Barring can make it work on Clubhouse. Bio's been around for 700 years. He knows how Clubhouse works. I like West Garfield in this one because of those instances and because Nocturnes and Club is, I don't know, I've never been impressed by it personally.
Well,
Ever.
I feel like no one told Fellow that we didn't need someone to take one for the team anymore. We did break the curse. But hey, we'll take the free points and I'll watch someone else who is encroaching on my lead. Although I'm going to put an asterisk besides forceful lead. I'm going to say I have the lead because you smaller sample size, okay?
Exactly.
You didn't start from the beginning with those up in the air matches with us, but we do have a match to get to right now. We are going to Clubhouse. It is obviously going to be West Garfield Park taking on Nocturnes.
It's only two wrong.
And I'm gonna start off, Jonah, by disagreeing with Mr. Tanner Forceful McHattie. I don't think the key for West Garfield is to slow down. I think the key for West Garfield is to speed up, because as we know, Nocturnes, not great when it comes to super duper aggressive teams. So if West Garfield take advantage of Barring, of Snake, of Valor, and keep that pressure on, then Nocturnes are gonna fumble. Of course, we're both laughing because I just want everyone to know, every single game so far, I've forgotten to unmute in TeamSpeak. So Jonah
is killing me. He comes into the intro and I can't hear a thing he's saying until he realizes it. Dude, it's ridiculous. But with that aside, we're going into Clubhouse here, and I'm hoping we've got a good one. We've been treated quite well today with the matchups and the maps we've gotten. We saw Border, we saw Theme Park back to back. That's amazing. You know, going into Clubhouse, I'm hoping these teams continue to deliver. West Garfield Park, they are coming off a 4-game win streak, looking for a 5th. According to our predictions, it looks like we think they're going to get it. But to start off the season, they had, I think, overtime loss, overtime win, and a regulation loss as well. And then to come out with 4 wins in a row, that is exactly the stage they were looking to put together. It's just about continuing that now against their new opponents of Nocturnes.
And that streak started with that role change. Coincidence? I think not. Valor has been a standout performer now that he's been moved onto that entry role. He can really supplement the efforts of Snake. They have been fierce ever since Bio has been moved back to the hard support off the flex role. You know, no shade to Bio, but West Garfield has looked better now that Bio isn't necessarily as far forward. Bans coming out, though, are going to be Maverick, which makes sense. It's Clubhouse. And then Monty.
That's a fun one. Something that I'm familiar with just because of a particular collegiate team that I cast, but I don't see this very often in Challenger League, right? You don't see teams target banning the Monty. Clubhouse is a map that can be very powerful to have the Monty, especially in two positions. One, dirt tunnel, when you're pushing basement, you just send that brick wall on through, and there's almost nothing a defensive side can do about that. And two, on rafters, where you just walk up the rafter stairs, force that player out, and help you take rafters control expeditiously. So not going to be a focal point of this map whatsoever, as the Monty is not in play with his Larock shield, but we will have our traditional bans aside from that. The Valkyrie and the Mira taken off the board. And of course, with the Monty ban, that means Thatcher is up and is likely to be played by these teams. I would expect most of the time, at least when we're on that top floor site. That depends on CCTV and cache, and on gym and bedroom. That depends heavily on your ability to get those walls open as quickly as you can. The basement site, a little bit different. You don't necessarily need the Thatcher, but because Cade is unbanned, it certainly would be nice to bring him along just in case.
And of course, if anyone is still confused by that Monty ban, it is a direct target ban against Nocturns, because when they played this map last against the Game and Gladiators, they lost at 8-6, but they did have a highlight round with the Monty. Which is kind of weird that they're target banning, because I think it only happened in like one round, maybe two. I don't know. Nocturns, I mean, even then, Nocturns didn't look great against the Gladiators. They both struggled on this map. I mean, before that game, Nocturns had banned it 5 times. So obviously, Nocturns maybe not the most comfortable on this map. Well, of course, we'll see if they've improved it. They have, large roam extension, as you sometimes see on Church, with the Trio, the Vigil, the Mozzie, and the Mute. You've even got Exot upstairs as well as the Aruni, leaving Nyx on the bottom floor, alone, armed with the Alda. And West Garfield are looking like they want to full clear. They want to challenge. They want to be in the roamers' faces, not allow Nocturnes the fallback, as Exod eats a nade to the face and still somehow lives.
Yeah, he is now at just above 1 HP to his name. Any bit of damage sent his way would surely finish him off, but West Garfield are yet to have dealt the fatal blow. Still working their way in from both sides here. You've got Snake pressuring the breach that Twist opened with a Selma charge, while the rest of the team rotates around to the other side of this top floor to pressure from the CCTV and cache side. Construction as well has that open window. A drone tossed through will force these defenders to scramble around a little bit more. You got the Jackal in play, of course, so Snake has identified what they're dealing with on this top floor, but the grenade cannot sneak through the doorway, thanks to I think he just threw it against the wall, possibly burned by an Aruni gate, but either way, that's not the start that West Garfield were looking for. Thankfully, Twist is right behind and can finish off Poison for good. Lackey, though, gets one back, holding down Bar very well. Slothy has not given up this position either. Very risky, but also could allow his team to find a kill. Exod, he will strike first, downing Snake, but good placement from his teammate will down Exod in return. Good C4, though, shot out of the air by Twist. He'll get melted by Slothy, who secures a double kill, and just like that, it is all up to Bio.
Insane play from Slothy. Poison getting taken out first was a bit worrying, but I mean, the roam duo from Slothy and Exod making sure that the attack had nowhere to go when it comes to that cache clear. 2 coming in from Khan, barring jumping in through server window was a little bit odd, but that was beautiful tandem play from those 2 players. Bio's gonna get one. He'll at least finish Slothy off on his descent down the secret stairs, or attempted descent. But Exod is still able to slip by, and it's a 1 versus 3. 25 seconds remaining for Bio to try and get a move on and make something happen, but they've got perfect info on him. Thanks to that bulletproof cam, Lackey will put him out of his misery, and Nocturnes take the first round.
Yeah, and a fantastic way to start, showcasing just a textbook top floor extension, a roam, really a staged roam, right? You've got several fall off points for those players to drop back, and really never a point that they gave up that control. Risky, but also the potential reward, well, you just saw it in front of your eyes. If they stay a bit longer, West Garfield, they try to hop in, they try to get aggressive. If you're playing off each other well on that defensive side, you can easily take down those attackers and pretty much finish the round before the attack can fully begin. They were just trying to clear the top floor. That's where the attack started, and for the most part, that's where the attack ended. Bio gave it a good effort, but really couldn't get anything done.
And that was Slothy having a big round too. That was someone that, you know, the analyst desk had highlighted. Slothy, when he does well, Nocturns tend to do well. We'll see if that continues on through the rest of the game. I don't know what the hell is happening there with that wall.
Nice.
But, oh, it's fixed.
Nah, if he zooms back out, it'll come back.
Oh, we just don't tell them that. We just won't zoom back out.
Oh, it's fixed then. Hey.
Hey!
Oh.
All right, well, it's Jim for Nocturnes. And once again, they have extended, as you do on this site, all the way towards cash. This is a lot less. I feel like our art analysis is now a lot less boring now that we're not on like skyscraper and theme park.
Yeah.
Sorry, border and theme park. It's like it's club. What do you want us to say?
Well, West Garfield, they'll be looking to actually get an execute done this time. That'll be their focus.
Yeah.
And this bomb site, since it's gym and bedroom, it shouldn't be too hard to actually get to the execute phase of the round, because all you got to do is open up the jacuzzi wall, and voila, that's the bomb site. We'll likely see West Garfield pressure from the other side. At least we generally see teams at least provide, at the bare minimum, a construction cutoff, or if they want to go through the full clear, they'll work their way through cash and clear all the way up, forcing those defenders to rotate back. For now, barring, well, he has his eyes on one player who's just snuck away and darted down secret. Looks like they had some intel on Exod's position, but he gets away scot-free.
West Garfield have moved in below, though. So pretty soon, as soon as they drone out and make sure everything is clear, they're going to be able to go for nades from below. And they have 3 remaining. 1 from Barring, 2 for Snake, who I believe both are positioned downstairs right now. Yeah, assisting each other. They could find one potentially on Nyx, but they will clear the shield. Unfortunately for them, Poison and Slothy are sitting on completely hard surfaces. Exod looks like he wants to get something going. He's all the way down in the basement. Could come up main stairs and catch these players off guard, but the breach that you talked about has been open for quite some time. It's been aced open, and those 2 attackers are just waiting for an opening created by their team, likely looking for the ones from below. But Barring now ascends the main stairs, drone in front of him. But luckily, they're aware of it. Snake still catches Poison, though. Just teetering on the edge of that hard floor. He'll be caught, but Nyx swings out on the breach, I would have to assume, and gets 2, saving the round for his team. Lackey wins that. Shotgun out, gets the second as well. Snake now in a 1 versus 3. We've seen him pull out miraculous stuff before, but is he going to be able to do it with only 30 seconds left? The answer is no. Nyx and Lackey, a huge buddy ace, as John likes to say, to give Nocturnes 2 in a row.
Wow, look at that. It was the pressure from West Garfield that was building up. It looked good. They had a nice nade from below Snake that was well played. And then comes the aggression from Nocturnes. It was Nyx who took the first fight and just tore apart West Garfield. Then it was Lackey holding down logistics with his life, and well, it worked. He won a miraculous gunfight and then hit the 1 pump and finished off the player who dropped the hatch. That's exactly what his job was. Hold Logi for dear life. And he did. You combine that with a good play from Nyx, and all of a sudden, that was it for West Garfield. They had a low HP Snake, the last hope against 3 Nocturnes defenders who were mostly full HP in a variety of positions on the site, and Snake could really do nothing about it. So Nocturnes, they take 2 in a row. And while that round may have not been the most exciting, we have got a very exciting round 3, because for not the first time, we've seen this site a few times now, but it's always exciting to see bar and stage or double bar coming out.
Yeah, bar has definitely grown in popularity, especially with cash now being considered a very weak site. Maybe the weakest on the map, depending on who you ask. A lot of teams have almost completely replaced cash with bar. Some teams will still play cash, but bar takes precedence. So I do like that teams are bringing it out. It's definitely a fun site to play. But just like almost every other site, you have to take upstairs. There's a lot of verticality that can be established with that sledge that Barring is running. If you take Master, there's almost nowhere safe in bar to hide.
That looks like it's going to be West Garfield's plan of attack. Taking Master, like you said, Harrison, working their way in from above. There is a bit of a strip extension from Nocturns, a horizontal extension that West Garfield may have to work their way through later, but, well, that'll come later. Right now, their focus is up above, and that focus is already paying off. This time, it's them, West Garfield, to claim the opening kill. Slothy really wants to get this one back, and positioned aggressively here in Jim is taking this fight on the Jacuzzi breach before eventually getting wise to that and dropping away to save his own life. But a good start for West Garfield, forcing Slothy back and getting that kill onto Exod. That should confirm that top floor control is now theirs.
Yeah, Exod overstayed his welcome a bit, I guess unaware that the cutoff on Con window was already established. Good to see that Poison, though, is still alive. He was first picked in both our initial rounds thus far, despite his team still winning it. There's a defender in the basement. At the bottom of Secret Stairs, it looks like, I assume that's Slothy, considering, you know, how he likes to play. And yes, indeed, that is the alibi. All right, maybe not bottom Secret Stairs, but sort of in that blue doorway. EMP goes out. That allows for the breach onto stock. So Bio has an avenue into sight, onto stage, maybe even behind the tables. Depends on where he chooses to plant. Gas canisters go out in response, but it is rather early. There's still a whole minute left, and each gas canister, remember, can only delay about 10 seconds each. Poison, I don't know how he just got that kill. That was incredible. Bio is shut down, and that drops Case in sight.
Poison now is going to have to prove critical. He'll take down Barring before getting downed himself by the nade. Slothy to follow that one up, but here comes Twist. Nightmare Nix as well, taken down there by Snake, which leaves Slothy all alone against two. Diffuser still down in the site, but West Garfield now have that site control. Slothy is now pinned in this corner, flashed and stuck. He's going to have to get quite aggressive here. Still flashed. Still stuck. Snake can get this bomb down. Slothy has to make a move, but all he can do is go prone, cross his fingers, and hope for the best, but he'll get pre-fired and taken down quickly. So West Garfield, despite the shaky start, they'll make the adjustment, and they'll get it done.
Yeah, it looked like Nocturnes were going to take that round with the initial pick onto Bio, dropping Case in a sight. Very exposed position for an attacker to try and go and pick it up. Getting the frag onto Barring too to trade out Poison, but losing Exod initially meant that the man count was still even. And with West Garfield mounting the site pressure, Nocturnes felt like they were forced to move back, were caught in the rotations. We saw, I think that was Lackey on the Bandit, I'm pretty sure. Either Lackey or Nyx, one of the two on the Bandit, you know, just kind of walking through B1 and caught off guard by Twist in Bathroom, a position that should have been called out by Poison earlier in the round, considering he was smoking it off. So that was a little bit odd from the Bandit player, but I'm sure Nocturnes are just shaking it off. They do still have the lead, and they are going back to Church, establishing the roam that we saw in round number 1.
A roam that won them the round. West Garfield we never even saw how well and how good they are today at attacking that basement site because, well, their attack ended when they ran into Slothy and Exod and Lackey, all of whom were on a roam of some kind. Lackey extended on that first floor, Exod and Slothy extended up above, and despite Exod taking like 99 HP worth of damage almost instantly into the round by a well-placed grenade, he was still able to be effective and do his job. That's exactly what he'll be looking to do again. Based on the lineup and the approach now from West Garfield, the fact that we see Valor on the Jackal does suggest that we are going to see West Garfield go about the same approach. Does not indicate that we're going to see a direct dirt attack or something more aggressive. They're on the roof. They're getting these walls open. You can see the exothermic there from Bio going off and opening up that CCTV wall. They're just doing their due diligence here and making sure they can force these Nocturnes defenders out. Most of all, preventing them from rotating away without dying.
I'm glad West Garfield are looking like they're taking it a little slower. As I say that, though, Barring is going to open up dirt. Perhaps he and his team see an opening in the site that they can take advantage of. The last time we saw this roam, there was only one man there. It was Nyx. And there's a drone going in from Bio. Barring, though, is not following it, so Bio's really just droning to drone. I guess maybe confirming that there's only one person on site. The drone, I think, just spotted Nyx. In the meantime, West Garfield aren't really pushing out these roamers. Nocturnes are just chilling upstairs. Nade will go up to make sure there's no one playing the floor holes in Logi. Kitchen hatch will be opened. And West Garfield, again, attempting to circumvent this roam. I mean, they have kitchen hatch, they have dirt open, pretty sure a drone in sight as well, and now the opening pick on the poison.
Yeah, poison has now been opening picked on 3 separate rounds. We're only 4 rounds in, so not the way he's liking to start. He's only had 1 kill so far. Really looking to contribute, I suppose, on the latter half of Nocturne's defensive side, because this first half has not gone so well. West Garfield now have successfully taken control of the map, and they are now pressuring the site for the first time. We did not get to see them get this far, so now Nocturnes, we're going to have to see how they respond to it. We see them scrambling around this site, trying to find more comfortable positions. A moment ago, all 4 defenders were in church, but now they've spread out a little bit more. You've got Exod on this rotate between blue and armory, looking to possibly catch out someone as they work their way in dirt. Barring is doing that while the rest of the attack is working their way in up above.
20 seconds remaining, though. West Garfield are going to be pressed for time despite the man advantage. Still a C4 in the pocket of Slothy as well. Bio drops in, but Nyx is still back Arsenal. Nobody from the attack. Check this, because he's got to rotate. He'll be instantly refragged. There's another from Snake as well, but the case has been dropped, finally picked up by Twist, and now it's a 2 versus 3, 2 versus 2 as the plant goes down. Baring's got cover, but he loses the fight to Lackey. The plant goes down, and Valor's killed by Slothy. An incredible retake by Nocturnes, starting off by Nyx, with Slothy and Lackey collapsing in on that execute. 3rd point for Nocturnes.
Unbelievable retake coming out of nowhere. That's a 2v4 straight up, and they just storm in and win their fights. Are you kidding me? West Garfield missing a lot of that defensive setup. The first sign of trouble was the fact that Nyx was not spotted out in the back of the site. All you got to do is put 1 sledge hole above his head, guard that rotate, and he's dead. But no, he was there, and he was able to deny the initial planter. But still, when he was traded, it was West Garfield with a significant advantage. Nocturne with only 2 bodies remaining, and Slothy and Lackey just say, we don't care, let's just swing this. You had Lackey, who was working his way around. I believe he was the player from from blue, who worked his way around towards dirt, and you had Slothy coming from church. Either way, they both just collapsed. They won all of their ones. West Garfield not landing a single trade other than the kill onto the Maestro, and all of a sudden the round slipped away. Nocturnes take it, and yeah, now it's a 2-round lead.
And we go back to Jim, or one of those players that we just saw in the 2v4. Lackey had clutched up with Nyx. That's kind of the thing about that round, though, as well as Jim. It came down to some hero plays on the defense. Speaking of hero plays, Nyx is spawn peeking. Fortunately for Twist, he's avoided the angle and went the other way. No, we won't see a kill from Nyx this early on. West Garfield, I mean, their attack started out pretty well. Like, they had the downstairs control. They got a nade kill onto Poison. They were looking to push through the breach, and then they were just denied by Nyx swinging bathroom and landing 2. And it looks like West Garfield are going to adjust. They're going to go for the cash clear this time instead, and make sure that they have more than enough control to deny any semblance of a bathroom swing.
Interestingly, Nocturnes, only 1 player is currently staffing this. You can see the setup they've got, all the soft destruction, and combined with those reinforcements, it looks like it's meant for a couple of people to hold. Usually we don't just see 1 person with that shield on the top of red stairs, but to Exod's credit, he's protected by, well, a plethora of ADSs and Wamai magnets. He should be fine for a while. The burn finally successful, and a nade blowing up that shield, but Exod remains untouched. He actually does have a possible escape route through garage. Baring isn't quite watching it yet, but as I say that, he will swing out to take that angle, prevent Exod from running away. Exod knows he's got to work his way back through the site, and that's where Snake will pounce. Twist on the follow-up will take down Slothy. Both of these players, especially Slothy, who's been insanely effective so far at denying these early pushes, but right now it is Nocturnes this time on the back foot. Already lost 2 men.
Not looking good for Nocturnes early on in this round, though they did start off on the back foot in that previous gym defense. Unfortunately for them, though, like we had mentioned many times so far, it's a full adjustment from West Garfield. They are not even touching the Jacuzzi side of things. Bio will open up that con single wall in just a moment. There it is. Plenty of pressure on the metal balk. Plenty of people coming in towards con. That's Barring and Snake watching those angles. As West Garfield, they do have 45 seconds to play with. That's plenty of time to get this info on site and act on it. Twist has now actually readjusted and has positioned himself outside that Jacuzzi wall for a late play. Bio ends up getting a kill onto Nyx, shutting down the Wamai from, I would have to assume, somewhere on the balcony. Don't quite know where that Wamai was playing. Poison now positioned behind Bomb Chassis is a little bit exposed, and the Bomb Planter just rushes in. Bio goes down. There's no refrag just yet, but as I say that, Snake's pre-fire lands, destroys the frost mat under him, and Lackey is left in a 1 versus 4. With that pre-fire, they know exactly where his is. The shotgun comes out, takes out one player. That player is way too far for him to use the shotgun on the second. C4 will miss. It'll down Twist, but only after the plant is completed. Now in a 1 versus 2, perhaps a 1 versus 3 if Snake ends up triggering the Finka boost, but looks away. Lackey's now in a 1v1, but Barring shuts down the clutch attempt with a nice headshot, and West Garfield will take their second point.
I think this round, though, is indicative of what West Garfield have been struggling with and why, they haven't been able to chain these attacking rounds together. Because they have, every round so far, through 5 rounds, they've got the entry pick every single time. Onto Poison, onto Poison, onto Exod, onto Poison again. And this time, I think they had 2 openings, right? It was 2 kills, and Nokturns never had an answer. In fact, 3. Nyx fell before Nokturns could even get a single kill back, right? That's what's going very well for West Garfield. The entry, how the rounds begin. But then the execute, and that transition phase between that map control and that execute, that's what's been getting West Garfield into trouble. They allowed one incredible clutch from Nokturns in that 2v4. They almost allowed another clutch to Nokturns' benefit. Obviously, that was well played, but they almost allowed that to happen again. They gotta stay a little bit tidier here, because Nokturns, if you keep giving them these openings, they may not capitalize every time, but so far they've gotten 3 rounds, all of which they have not started with that opening kill. Nokturns, of course, would love to keep this defensive sided and would love to get this last round here and make this a 4-2 split. And I'd argue they'll set themselves up really well for that if they can just flip the script here and get the opener themselves.
And something that they've struggled with all stage long is that opening game. And whether they win the round or not, most of the time, it's in a 4 versus 5, sometimes less. So like you said, if Nokturns end up turning that entry game around, perhaps they see more success. But for now, we'll have to wait and see. They'll opt to play Jim again, hit the reset button, and retry. No one extended over towards Cash. They opened the breach, and everyone from Nokturns has fallen back. They opened to rotate there as if someone was playing there earlier, but clearly not a lot of dedication to it.
Right, now this is going to turn into a waiting game on the objective, because Nokturns, they're all on the site or just nearby. One player tucked down below, but that's it. The rest of this attack, as West Garfield is concerned, only has to go a couple of steps further. They're already going to have control of CCTV and Cash, and by extension, construction in a moment. They already have the Jacuzzi wall open and almost got the opener again. Sloppy
like
stays alive just barely. Yeah, but the 3rd time we've seen these nades land and just not quite finish off these defenders.
Super unfortunate for West Garfield, but I mean, it is a hell of a lot of damage. Lackey is down below. Barring's watching the angle, though, nearly takes the head off of the mutant. Lackey's going to take that opportunity to get the hell out of Bar. Rotate back upstairs and help his team on the site where they sorely need it. Valor and Twist were, I guess, looking to maybe hunt him down, but have changed their minds. Snake has since established himself in Cash as, again, there is no defender over in that position. Instead, it's Exod backed off towards the doorway with a shield. They want to play for the construction shield rather than Cash presence in and of itself, which, I don't disagree with, considering how their Cash holds have worked out so far. Haven't been great.
Well, 45 seconds, and West Garfield, For the first time in this map, they haven't claimed the opener within the first 2.5 minutes, but they are looking to land that now. Finally finishing off Slothy, who is already at very low HP. Twist claiming that one and on the hunt for another. Playing on the middle balcony, he's got a chance here, but Lackey just steps up and shuts him down. Bio's also been taken down by Nyx. Exod will fall as Valor answers, but we're back into 3v3 with very little time for West Garfield to make a move. Poison with a shotgun, gets one, but cannot land the second. Lackey close behind, though, will trade that back. He won't spot out Barring as he rounds the corner, so quickly we're back in a 1v1. Barring takes down Nyx, who takes the fight, exposing himself and willing to challenge despite no time remaining on the clock. So West Garfield, they will happily take that gift that Nokturns just handed them, and now we're tied at 3 because of it.
Such a good effort from the defense at the end of that round, denying the breach push, denying the Meadow Balk player, making sure that they were able to go 2 for 1 on that Logi play as well, and Barring stepping up at the end. Lackey just looking at the wrong side of the doorway for whatever reason, missing his flick, and then, like you said, Nyx opting to take the fight. Very strange from Nocturnes at the end. Like you said, could have been a 4-2 half, but we end up at even as we swap sides. So Nocturnes are now on the attack. They struggled mightily with the entry game on the defense. I'm a little worried about their ability to do so on the attack now, because getting it on the attack tends to be, a little bit more difficult, as always, because you're the one pushing in. The defenders are already set up waiting. And Nocturnes, in every game we've seen, I mean, we're going to keep hammering this point home. In every single game they have played, I don't think they've been positive in the entry as a collective unit, like, once.
Yeah. This is not ideal for Nocturnes. 6 for 6. West Garfield have been successful on the entry game. If they can continue that theme on the defense, they will be sitting very, very pretty. Right, you've got Barring here, who's indicating that he might be interested in doing that, keeping his eye on the secret rappel, making sure nobody is trying to sneak in and cut him off. Nyx has a nice drone that can look all over this site, and what he should realize pretty quickly is that West Garfield have quite a web on this map, quite a web of that control, right? You've got so many elements all over this map. You've got 2 right now on that top floor, some rotating down below, but what Nocturnes are doing here is they're trying to cut it off right in the middle, not going top down, going straight in on this first floor, and they may have found an opening here, sneaking down to the basement. And are West Garfield aware of this? Looks like they are. Here they come, flooding back to the site to meet this aggression.
Slothy and Poison are the first men in through Moto, though. I don't think they know about Bio. Never mind. Color me surprised. Slothy whips around and kills him. Poison planting safe behind Minibar. There's nothing that West Garfield can do about it. Slothy once again on the cover with a triple kill now, getting both the defenders in blue. Nyx going through dirt, catches Valor, and Snake is alone in a 1 versus 5. Nocturnes playing around the roam perfectly. Slothy, 3 kills on the coverage. No answer whatsoever from West Garfield. And Snake, now only 20 seconds remaining to try and make it happen. He'll miss the shots onto Poison, try and make a stance in blue. He gets one, but Exod is there for the refrag, and Nocturnes take a 1-round lead.
What a way to start. And Nocturnes getting the opening pick for the first time as well. Hitting the crouch walk, basically, through the map. But it worked perfectly. They saw how many players were extended on that top floor. They saw exactly what route they could take through the map to get down below unnoticed. And what's confusing a little bit to me, Harrison, is the mixed signals we got there from West Garfield. Because right when Nocturnes were working their way down the main stairs, at that same instant, that's when it looked like West Garfield were charging back to the site, which screamed to me, West Garfield know what's coming. But then Nocturnes, they keep going. They don't slow down. They go through Moto into the site, and West Garfield, like, Bio gets shot in the back of the head. Did he not? Right, did he not know what was going on? I thought they rotated back to the site because Nocturnes were pushing early and aggressive. a little bit confusing as to what West Garfield were thinking there. It's possible that was just it hit them not the number on the clock that they were comfortable with on that extension, and so they sent it back. It's possible they realized, wait a second, there's no breaching going on this top floor. That means they're going aggressive. They just didn't realize how aggressive Nocturns were going to be. And gotta give it up to Nocturns for making the right read there. That was well played.
I also wonder, where was there no defender like in bar?
I think he had rotated over towards like lounge and secret and was like backing off with the team, like right at that moment.
I was trying to think. I was like, normally you have a defender like in bar or on main stairs or something, and there was just nothing there.
It was really good timing by Nocturns. That's what I'll give him for sure.
Yeah. Although now West Garfield will have a player in bar / main stairs. It's Snake, though he does back off and ascend the main staircase. Nocturnes are looking like, of course, they're not going to go for the exact same play as they did in the previous round. That would be too expected. Though Bio is going to fall back rather early. Sub 1 minute with Barring actually kind of dancing around stock in the staircase as well. Yeah, he's back on site. So within a minute, 2 roamers are downstairs, but there are still 2 remaining that Nocturnes are going to have to worry about.
Yeah, that is Twist and Snake. Not even rotating to that first floor yet either, maintaining control of this top floor and using that to pressure out Nocturnes a bit. I think Nocturnes may have made that decision again to avoid going for the full map clear. Twist trying to punish them, but he's a little bit too late.
That?
The hatch is already opened up. Is somebody in the site and planting? Poison was trying to plant instead. He'll get off that defuse and hunt for kills. He'll get one. Lackey gets another. Valor will answer back and take down Poison, and Twist rotating back as well will find a vital kill to keep West Garfield alive, because now Slothy and Exod are the only 2 attackers remaining, and it looks like Twist has a read on their position. He'll sit close on the door. Slothy is crouched, but Twist has no trouble taking him down, and Exod actually backed off, decided not to play with his teammate, and that just cost Slothy his life and possibly just cost Nocturnes the round.
That was such a smart play from Poison to drop in under the watchful eye of those roamers. Gets that opening pick. In fact, gets 2. Another teammate chimes in on cover, and then the defenders retake. The rest of the attackers from Nocturnes didn't look like they were fully in a position to help Poison. So as the attackers in sight get crushed, there's really no recourse for the others who are left upstairs. And towards the end, like you said, Exod not playing with his teammate. I don't know why he was towards the moto hatch. Just go down main with him, or at the very least, try to establish kitchen hatch pressure, maybe just drop the hatch, what have you, but leaving Slothy alone, letting him die on his lonesome, taking that 1v2 and losing it. It really looked like it should have been a Nocturnes round with the way that started. We end up at 4-4.
Another good Nocturnes read. I've got to say, I think the read was there, but, the execution in the end left a little bit to be desired. Obviously calling out Exod is one element, but it was more the fact that he and Slothy did not play together. That was the problem. Had Slothy waited a couple of more seconds before actually peeking main, waited for Exod to get control of that kitchen hatch again, I don't think that Twist would have been safe in that position. That's easy to establish an angle on from kitchen. Could have killed him, no problem. Slothy could have then been free to walk down. It was just a matter of getting that timing right. But until that point, it looked like it was all going so well for Nocturnes. Poison, he was going to get the bomb down. He saw the bullets coming from Twist up above, made the correct read to get off the plant, hunt for a kill. He got one, but then the collapse came in from West Garfield. Those roamers got back to the site. Valor was able to make an impact, and West Garfield, held on by the skin of their teeth, mind you, but they held on to that round, and just like that, we are tied up again. This is back and forth.
And you also gotta wonder too, Lackey died to Twist coming down main stairs. Where were those 2 guys on the first floor? Like, how are they not covering main stairs? I don't know. That was a really weird round from Nocturnes after the initial couple picks into sight, but Snake is going to get a very early kill. Lackey trying to push in through the strip. Hallway gets caught off guard, and once again, Nocturnes will drop the opening pick.
Yeah, not the way Nocturnes were looking to start, especially Lackey, because of course he is currently the top frag only player in the lobby who's hit double digits so far. Obviously Snake not close behind, nor is Slothy at 9 kills and 8 kills respectively, but Lackey the dominant fragger, and he will be quiet for round number 9. The rest of Nocturns are going to have to step up here as they continue to work their way through this clear, itching to clear out all of CCTV and cache, it looks like, at least initially, based on their drone work and positioning, but with one man down. And a key player for that utility burn, it's going to be a problem for Nocturns if they want to go for that route. Instead, we're going to see them go for another bit of a sneaky play. Already Nyx creeping his way up the main stairs. 2 players eager on the breach and ready to go.
Bio with those smokes rather early. There's still a minute 30 left. It will at least aid in his escape from bathroom. Still got 2 in his pocket, of course. Twist is the only man with C4, though, so he and Bio, there's going to be a heavy reliance on them to try and deny these entries or deny this plant. Exod will blow open more of bathroom, establishing a very long angle that he could potentially kill Snake with. Exod takes a lot of damage. I don't really know what Nyx was doing there. And everyone on Nocturns is now dead, except Poison, who's still outside the breach. He'll tag Bio up, but, yeah, that was... I guess they just tried to, like, send it up main stairs without looking in... I don't know why Nyx didn't look into Master first before checking Logi, but,
He had a free kill if he did.
Either way, let Garfield win the round and take the lead again.
Yeah, so I was paying close attention to Nyx on those stairs because I was curious on how he would get by that Melusi Banshee, because obviously the defense felt comfortable that the Banshee would keep them protected from a creepy, or a sneaky, rather, main stairs push by Nyx, right? Nocturns have tried something cheeky for 3 rounds now, and it makes sense that West Garfield were expecting that. But they had the Banshee, and because Nyx saw that, because the players on the breach identified it, he could not push up. He obviously wanted to go for another sneaky play, and so what they did beautifully was use Thatcher and the EMP grenade on the roof to disable the Banshee. That opened up Nyx, and he had a chance to actually make the push. Obviously, the problem came in to which fight he decided to take. He did not swing Master Bedroom, which would have probably been a free kill, if not 2, because that wasn't something that West Garfield were probably expecting, but unfortunately, he looked to Logi instead, exposing himself to the bedroom door and dying.
Definitely odd.
Defenders, protect your bombs from being defused by attackers.
Wow, cash. For the first time this game. Round 10. We have cash on the board. Goyo's in play as well from Valor. I feel like we see him a pretty decent amount on this site. He can help, of course, with Garage, with stalling Breach, with stalling Red. Those fires, mind you, last like 20 seconds or so, I think it is. He, of course, got barring, as will I, so he's going to be the one tasked with holding Garage. And Nocturns don't have their Monty. They can't just punch through all that utility to take the fight with the shield to try and brick wall that player in rafters, like you mentioned earlier during the operator selection. And Nyx is Capital. So if Nocturns want to flush out Garage, they're going to need to do their due diligence, really be on top of their utility clear so Nyx can get the most out of his gadget.
Well, for, what, the first time now, West Garfield Park, they've got a lead. Nocturns have been on top pretty much the entire time, starting from their first 2 round wins. And, well, now West Garfield Park at 5-4. They'll be looking to further this one and put themselves on match point. Of course, Nocturns will be looking to tie this one up right back and get some momentum back in their favor. But, ooh, this is Snake. He's sneaking down below, and he's got that secret run out prepped if he wants to get aggressive. There is a Claymore from Nyx. Is it set up there? Yes. So Snake will find a quick explosive grave if he does make that decision. It's possible he could pick up Poison before dying, but because Poison has already gotten that exothermic charge off, really wouldn't make a ton of sense for Snake to risk his life. But Nocturns do now have to make that decision. Do they want to push from that construction side, or is Garage going to be the focus? Looks like with those X-Kairos pellets going off, we've got our answer. Those mute jammers disabled by the EMPs of the Thatcher, and now they could potentially work their way in to force barring out soon.
Nyx, though, has already used one of his fires, I think.
Attackers drop the diffuser.
What? Wait, what? Did Snake just run out Garage?
Wow. Only one
How do you-
Claymore, not 2.
How do you let that happen? not only did he get 1 kill, he got 2. Both Nyx and Poison dead. All right, well, that could very well be the round. With 1:15 left, Nocturnes now suffer a 3v5 deficit, not even a point of damage on any of these defenders. Lackey has now recovered the case, but Garage has not been taken. Con control has not been established. There's nothing going for Nocturnes except for this plat wall breach.
Yeah, they're just going to have to brute force their way in, it looks like. There's no more smokes from Bio. He's expended his last one, and, well, these Vulcan canisters are starting to be dealt with methodically, but, I mean, West Garfield, they're sitting pretty, and Nocturnes are fighting quite an uphill battle. You've got one possible solution. Slothy from behind, he's trying to work his way through construction, but I think his position is well known. He had to shoot out the camera on his way over. Snake's looking that way, so he has no trouble finding a triple kill by taking down Slothy and shutting down the other side of this push. Now it is just up to Exod and Lackey, who are stacked up in a very similar position. It is Lackey on the breach, who will get one, but then walking into a crossfire, dies to Barring. Exod sneaks into the site and then just holds left click and gets a kill and then ends up dying. Got kind of stuck in that one there, and really didn't have a shot either way. It was isolated in the bomb site, surrounded by defenders. West Garfield Park take their 6th round, and they put themselves on match point.
I think there was a little bit of lag there, yeah, as confirmed by Slothy in the chat. But Nocturnes have their attacks have not looked great, with the exception of that little main stairs crouch walk. It's been a lot of bad. 3K from Snake that round as well. Big ups to him as the Malusi, able to run out Garage for whatever reason. Don't really know how he was able to do that, but he was, and then ended up getting a 3rd kill. It's a whole lot of Nocturnes just getting picked and no trade happening, and it's something that they've struggled with. I mean, it's like we said right after the break, right? When we went back from the analyst desk to casters, Nocturnes struggle with teams that play entry denial and play in your face and play aggressive. And clearly, West Garfield, I mean, this is really how they've been playing ever since that role swap, but they've likely read into that and are keeping the pressure up.
Another reminder of our entry stats. Nocturnes are 2-10.
Yup.
2-10. Twice they've gotten the opener. Actually, out of 10 rounds, excuse me. So 2-8 technically. Twice out of the 10 rounds they've found the opener. It has been all West Garfield in terms of the opening picks, even on the defensive side. Snake got one onto Lackey. Snake then got one onto Nyx, and it has really been West Garfield ever since they've started heating up. So, Nocturnes, are we going to see another cheeky play? Are they going to sneak themselves down to the basement early on? I think West Garfield, they don't want to allow that to happen again, so we're not seeing the same extension. Instead, this is more of an anchor focus. No one on the top floor for actually the first time we've seen it on this map that we're headed to the basement without a big extension or anything like that.
Yeah, everyone's fallen back now. So I guess, you know, Nocturnes are afforded a lot of that control. They are clearly operating not with a lot of info after their initial drones got shot. I mean, they only have 6 left in a minute into the round. West Garfield might even be winning on this info game, considering they've still got Yokais on the board with Valor. But I guess Nocturnes are now aware that, hey, we've clearly flushed the roam. We can go ahead and start transitioning now. They'll open up back of Armory with the sledge of Nyx. And here comes Exod with the Hibana pellets. They got to clear the Electro Claw before they can go ahead and breach it. And that'll likely be done by the nades of Nyx. Very, oh, there's a Womidus there actually as well. And no. Exod dies.
That's a bummer.
With all this hard reach and procket.
That is what they call in the business a bummer. You don't have Exod anymore. Thankfully, you've got Poison. I mean, you've got another hard breacher, but you are out of options, and you are running low on time here, Nocturnes. In this 4v5, Poison is just going to send it down main stairs, sneak his way in, and will do his best to get this church wall open. This should be possible. We're not going to see any sort of impact trick or anything like that. The EMP grenade will make this breach certifiably open, and now Poison just gonna send it on in. Are you kidding? He just
Okay.
swings in, and Bio is once again looking the other way. Poison in an attempt to get this bomb down, but thinking twice, waiting for West Garfield to make the move. Snake does make the move, and Poison just gets clapped.
Wow.
Snake hits 2. That is a ruthless double kill. Slothy and Nyx, all that remain. Now Slothy will take up the position of Poison, who just refused to get the bomb down a moment ago. Slothy will do it, and this time stick it successfully. Nyx, though, will have to provide the key coverage because Slothy is in a tough spot, and now he's been finished off. Nyx does not last much longer as Twist finishes him off as well. And just like that, West Garfield, they will put themselves on top. Looks like Snake's going to be the one to get the defuse as they just tear each other apart. But a victory nonetheless for West Garfield, 7-4 here on Club.
And light work, it looked like, on the defense for West Garfield. Nocturns couldn't really get the ball rolling. They struggled in those opening engagements. Every time they tried to execute onto the site, there were like weird angles being taken, right? Like there was Nyx walking up main stairs and not looking into Master. There was Poison dropping the hatch, and getting his own kills, but with no one else really to act upon it. Everyone else was in, Narnia or whatever. That previous round, Snake was able to kill Poison planting behind Minibar, I would assume, from the church wall breach. I don't know. And it's weird, too, because last time they played this map, Nocturnes has a 71% attacking win rate against Game and Gladiator. Like, they were not slouches on the attack at all. That was an attacker-favorite map. And then here, they looked like wet noodles.
That's one way of putting it. I mean, they did get 4 rounds, they did have their moments, and especially on one of those attacks, I loved the mindset they brought into them, just didn't love the execution, and I think they are equally frustrated with themselves. I've never seen a team leave the lobby that fast, even before the counter defuse had actually even happened. So I think they're definitely feeling some type of way about this one, and not a good way. They're going to have things to talk over before the remainder of this stage plays out. They've only got 2 play days left. They know it. They got to recover this somehow. But right now, at least for today, it's not going to be a win. We're going to send things back to our analyst desk, though, to give us the real insight about what just happened on Clubhouse, boys.
Our third 7-4 matchup of the day. We are flying, but let's talk about Nocturnes. Tanner, this team, they look good at the start, and then it just kind of started to fall apart for them.
Yeah, their defensive half was actually really strong. I felt like the roam game on their church roam was really solid. I felt like they were collapsing back to site. They were taking advantage of the picks they were getting. But then on the attack half, I guess that Monty band just absolutely demolished their ability to kind of make anything happen on sites like CCTV. I got to give kudos to West Garfield Park 2 for that kind of discipline to come back from like that bad of an attack half.
But it did. One thing I know that you mentioned was those first 2 rounds on attack, in particular, rounds 7 and 8 for Nocturnes. They had this like rush that looked mightily impressive. They were just in sight down in church. And the first one they did convert on. The second one kind of got away from them, and they never seemed to regain that composure.
No, it's like that's like a one and done kind of play, right? So as soon as you use it, you lose it. You can't pull that out every single time. That's called a pocket strat. It was a good pocket strat. Got West Garfield completely with their pants down. But after that, you saw Snake just absolutely take over that defensive half. And I got to give a big shout out to Barring. He had that one of those big, massive clutches on the attack half. Absolutely phenomenal gameplay from both.
Mm-hmm. And Connor, West Garfield Park, although 7-4 victory, you can't knock it. They cleaned up on entry kills, but is there something to be said for the fact that cleaning up on entry kills? I think it was like 9-2, and not. Oh, did I do it again, Cookies? I am so sorry. He's just giving me the look now. You guys are just a revolving door on me. Okay. It makes it tough at times. I got one person at one moment, one at another, but Cookies.
Brim, I get it. You're old. I get it. You forget
I know.
things.
It's the dementia's setting in. It's hard to keep up with the kids these days. But you know what? I'll save that point, Cookies. I'm gonna throw it over to a quick interview with Bio, ask him a few questions about his team. But don't worry, I'll be back for you, CJ. I'll be back. Bio, another huge win in the books, but it didn't start off so hot. It was a little bit rocky. What did you guys do to kind of settle things down and sway this back in your favor?
I mean, if you look at the standings, like Nocturns at the bottom. So going into this week, I was telling my team it's gonna be a hard game because like those guys are now just gonna play for fun, and like when you play for fun, like obviously on their defenses, they just get wild, and it was just crazy. And then obviously when they went to attack, that's where like that practice and like pugging it kind of like stopped because we kind of put it into all that, and basically what happened.
Now, obviously, you guys were doing pretty well with Rudy, having some fun, but what was it like having Snake back? What does he bring back to your roster?
I mean, we just went from, you know, the number 3 rated player in CL to the number 1. So it just Rudy and Snake are 2 different people. We had to like change around like what we do. Obviously the teams that we played, they didn't pick up on it, that we lost our entry and picked up a support player. So if they picked up on it, they should have never let us in the building on attack. Because we really only had 1 entry, but they didn't, and we got through with just like doing executes. And then for having Snake back, like now we have 2 entries with Barring and Snake, and we actually can like get in the building. But you saw versus NKG, like a team like that, they're just gonna like play for fun and like do whatever, and we had a hard time getting in the building.
Now, you guys coming in today, we're sitting in 5th. This is a big win for you guys. Do you see yourselves pushing for even 4th or even 3rd position? Where do you see yourself in the field amongst these other teams?
I think based off points, I think we can only get like 3rd or 4th. I don't think we can pass Aerial Arise and Wichita. So I think the highest we can get is 3rd. And then obviously we play One Shot tomorrow. Like that's a big game because I'm pretty sure that like solidifies like 3rd. Because I think if one of us wins, we'll pass like LSR no matter what. So we win tomorrow, we basically like have like top 3.
Well, hey, I love interviewing someone that knows the numbers better than I and can actually tell me what's what. Thank you very much, Bio. Have a wonderful day and good luck tomorrow with that one-shot matchup.
Have a good day.
Cookies, I'm eternally sorry, and I will throw that question your way now.
You're sorry? Huh?
I'm sorry, eh? Okay? Just don't take me out for a rip, okay?
What's the question, Brim? What's the
question had to do with entry kills and just saying like, man, they had a convincing win at 7-4, but when you have, I think it's something like 9-2 on entry kills, and it still goes to 7-4, are there things to clean up there?
Yes, there were some attacks where it was just very poor discipline from West Garfield Park. Multiple times, it was like a 2v4, 1v4, whatever. They almost lost around on Gym. Well, they had like 4 people up. They all just kind of waltzed. I mean, you know, if they iron that kind of silliness out, I've said it a bunch, I feel like this season, they just kind of lost rounds to just silliness. I feel like this team, when Bio calls a clean game, they are disciplined. Barring only went 8-7, but Barring was hitting some stinkers. I literally loved what I saw out of Barring today. So I don't know, it's just like when they put it all together, they can be a threat. That's for sure. They're talking about Bio's talking top 3. I believe it. I really do.
Now, here's one thing to keep in mind. This is for everyone. This is for you guys and you guys at home. We have 1 matchup left today. It's going to be Karn & Co. taking on Outlast. Now, we don't have playoffs anymore. Each stage, we just have 1 big playoff at the end, but we still have relegations. This match is the most important matchup of the day. It's the 10th place team taking on the 11th place. We're going to go to a quick break. This is the one match that you do not want to miss today. We'll see everyone in a